They say trust is built in drops and lost in buckets. The night I followed my wife, it poured. And by the end I was drowning. It started with a lie that sounded too perfect. Girls' night, she said, slipping on her earrings and checking her reflection for the 4th time. Me, Kelsey, and Bree at that new wine bar downtown. Probably stay at Bree's if we drink too much. She kissed my cheek, grabbed her purse, and smiled. Don't wait up, babe. I smiled back. Have fun. But something in me clenched. Her tone was sweet. Too sweet. Like someone adding sugar to poison. We'd been married 6 years. Things hadn't been bad, just quiet. Comfortable. She'd been distracted lately, more on her phone, less in our conversations. When I asked what was up, she always smiled and said, just tired. But that night? She wasn't tired. She was glowing. Hair done. Nails fresh. New lingerie tags still poking from her purse. I saw it when she walked past. Not the kind she wore on girls' night. Something was wrong. So I waited. 10 minutes after she left, I grabbed my keys and followed her. I didn't want to be the kind of man who checked up on his wife. I didn't want to be suspicious. But gut instincts don't lie, people do. I stayed a few cars behind. Kept my lights off. I expected her to head downtown, like she said. But she didn't take the exit. She kept driving. Out of town. Past the city lights. Down a dim, empty stretch of highway I knew too well. Then she pulled into a roadside motel. Room 14. She parked. Didn't even hesitate. Walked straight to the door like she'd been there before. Like she knew exactly who was behind it. I sat in my car across the parking lot, headlights off, heart pounding like a war drum in my chest. A man opened the door. He didn't even look around. Just pulled her inside and shut it. I couldn't move. Couldn't breathe. I watched shadows move behind the curtains. Heard faint laughter. Her laugh. The laugh I hadn't heard in months. Not around me, anyway. Part of me wanted to storm the room. Pound on the door. Scream. Break something. Break him. But I didn't. Because some betrayals are worse when seen in silence. And I needed to see. To know. I waited 48 minutes. I remember that number because I stared at the clock the whole time. Every minute dragging like a blade over my skin. Then I saw her leave. Hair messy. Shirt inside out. Lips red. She kissed him goodbye like it was normal. Like it was routine. And he kissed her back like it wasn't the first time. I sank lower in my seat as she walked to her car. She didn't even look around. No fear. No guilt. Because in her mind, I was home. Oblivious. And that's what hurt the most. She got in her car, texted someone and drove off. I didn't follow her back. I waited. I walked to room 14 once she was gone. The man had closed the blinds. Lights were still on. And then I saw his face through the window. And I broke. It was Ben. My coworker. My best man. My fishing buddy. The guy who helped us move furniture last summer. The guy who held my wife's hand during a family emergency, when I was out of town. I trusted him. With her. With everything. And now? He was the reason I couldn't breathe. I drove home in silence. Parked outside the house for almost an hour, watching the porch light flicker like nothing had changed. But everything had. I walked in slowly. She was already in bed, pretending to be asleep. I didn't say a word. Didn't touch her. Just lay next to her, inches from the betrayal, letting it suffocate me inch by inch. Morning came with sunlight that felt fake. She kissed me goodbye like normal. Coffee. Lip gloss. Lies. I smiled back. Didn't flinch. She said she had errands. Might grab lunch with Bree. I nodded. Tell her I said hi. She left. And I collapsed. For 3 days, I didn't confront her. I pretended. I watched. I waited. She laughed at her phone more. Slept easier. Wore that perfume she only used on date nights. But never with me. I checked her phone when she showered. She changed his name to Rach Yoga. The texts were enough to tear me in two. Last night was heaven. Next time let's not leave the bed. I can't stop thinking about your mouth. And her reply. I wish he'd just find someone else already. Then we wouldn't have to sneak. Me. The confrontation came on a Sunday. She was folding laundry when I dropped her phone on the bed. Want to tell me what Ben smells like? She froze, then turned. What? I didn't raise my voice. I didn't need to. I followed you. Motel. Room 14. I saw everything. Her mouth opened, closed, then tears. It's not what you think. I laughed. Bitter. Broken. What exactly do I think it is, Amelia? You wearing new lingerie for yoga class. She sank to the floor, apologizing, blaming stress, loneliness. Me. I felt invisible, she said. You were always working. I thought maybe you didn't want me anymore. So you gave yourself to him? I snapped. You let him touch what you promised was mine. She said she made a mistake. Said it meant nothing. It meant everything, I whispered. Because you did it behind my back and smiled in my face. I packed that night. She begged me to stay, to fix it, to fight for us. But I had fought. I fought through long hours to give us a better life. I fought through arguments, stress, and everything else. She fought nothing. She chose him. Over and over. I moved in with my brother. Haven't seen her since. Ben tried to call. I blocked him. Cowards don't get closure. That motel still shows up on my GPS. Room 14. That number burns like a scar. But the pain? It's changing. From heartbreak to healing. Because following her that night didn't just reveal the truth. It saved me from a lifetime of lies. And for that, I'm grateful.